And it's a cold start. Heading out the door, temperatures are in the teens, but I'll show you why we'll see a big warm-up starting tomorrow.
DMV hours reduced while the department facing criticism over customer service is ending early hours starting today. Super Bowl champions, the Seattle Seahawks, raising the Lombardi Trophy after dominating the New England Patriots. The best moments from that big game, including the halftime show featuring rapper Bad Bunny. WRAL News on Fox 50 starts in less than 30 seconds.
Leith Honda in Raleigh and Auto Park Honda in Cary, we make your buying process easy. And with every new car purchase, you'll enjoy complimentary oil changes and exceptional service. It's no wonder we've earned so many 5-star reviews. You'll also get peace of mind pricing with every used vehicle, and if it's not the perfect fit, no problem. Bring it back within 3 days for an easy exchange. Visit our showroom at Auto Park Honda in Cary or Leith Honda in Raleigh. It's easier here.
Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your #1 source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
8 a.m. on your Monday morning, the day after the Super Bowl. Thanks for joining us on Fox 50. I'm Laura Levine.
And I'm Ken Smith. It's hard to get up after the Super Bowl Sunday, but
yes, tell me about it.
Let's go ahead and get over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, tracking another cold morning.
And the weather doesn't make it any easier. It is cold out there this morning. We take a live look at Apex. At least we're seeing sunshine all across the viewing area, but it's 18 degrees in the Triangle right now. No wind, so no wind chill to deal with, but still, it is 18 degrees. It's 14 in Roxborough, 10 up in South Hill, 18 in Rocky Mount, 23 in Fayetteville, where it feels like 19. It feels like 17 in Southern Pines. It's 25 in Clinton. So no matter where you are, it is cold out there. Sunshine with us all day. We climb above freezing by 11 o'clock, and we'll see highs in the mid-40s. But we'll see highs in the mid-60s by tomorrow. What's going to happen to bring all that warmth in? We'll take a look. Coming up, Ken.
Elizabeth, happening now in the WR Traffic Center, boy, that northern loop of the Beltline. It's beginning to ease up just a little bit, but we're still seeing some heavy congestion as we take a live look at I-440 near the New Bend Avenue exit. As we give you a look at the whole loop from the I-87 440 interchange all the way over to Wade Avenue, you're looking at an 8-minute delay, but the real congestion is between the 440 and 87 split to Capitol Boulevard, and it's relatively clear sailing all the way to the Wade Avenue. Just a little bit of a slowdown around the Glenwood Avenue exit, so keep that in mind. Similarly, that southern loop of the Beltline, we are seeing a little bit of a delay there as well, just a 4-minute delay, but you're coming in from Garner, Johnston County on I-40 westbound, no delays between Highway 36 and the Beltline this morning. As we widen out the view, give you a look at other routes coming into Raleigh, we're seeing some heavy congestion on US 1 North coming in from Apex. There's a little bit of a slowdown around Highway 55, Williams Road, if you will. That's typical of this time of the morning. 10-minute delay if you're coming in from Wake Forest and US 1, and things are beginning to get jammed up a little bit around the Smithfield Road exit on I-87 coming in from Nightdale. You're looking at an 8-minute delay. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thank you. Police in Raleigh are looking for a man they accuse of stabbing his girlfriend late last night. The stabbing happened on Tidrow Terrace near Garner Road. Police say the woman was stabbed in the stomach. She was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. We're working to learn more about the victim and what led up to this stabbing.
After the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, her children say they will pay their mother's abductor to get her back. In a ransom note that has not yet been verified by authorities, there's a demand for $6 million in Bitcoin by later today. In return, Nancy Guthrie would be released. Today's Show co-host Savannah Guthrie and her siblings posted another video to Instagram begging for their mother's safe return. Investigators were back at Nancy Guthrie's house Sunday afternoon. They say they have no idea who took her or who abducted her or a person of interest in this case.
Looking ahead now, the Austin Thompson sentencing hearing will resume tomorrow. This hearing will determine if the Raleigh mass shooter will ever be eligible for parole. Thompson killed 5 people and hurt 2 others in the Hedingham community when he was just 15. Among the victims was Thompson's brother. Thompson's confession note mentioned he killed his brother because he was going to get in the way. On Friday, after days of emotional testimony, prosecutors focused on Thompson's internet search history. Prosecutors said there were clear parallels to other mass shooters. WRAL will be there when court resumes tomorrow, streaming every second of the proceedings on our YouTube page. Well, starting today, the DMV's doors won't be opening early anymore. Federal funding for extended morning hours has run out. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live at the DMV. She's at the Avent Ferry Road location in Raleigh. And Kelsey, we know that the DMV now is looking to find other ways to shorten wait times.
Yes, Lauren, this morning, 90 DMV locations have just adjusted their extended early morning hours, including this location here at Avent Ferry Road. Now, officials say the exhaustion of federal funding is what's causing this change. These offices will now open at 8 a.m. instead of 7 a.m. They were open earlier to offer additional customer service time and help address high demand. Now, here's another change. You can make an appointment up to 7 days in advance. You are no longer allowed to book a time slot up to 90 days ahead of time. That's designed to help the DMV direct customers to offices that could have more capacity in a given week. So just to be clear, walk-ins are still allowed. We did check the DMV website, and there are no appointments available across our viewing area. But there is some good news that new appointments can be available every weekday at midnight, except for holidays. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Well, today, state lawmakers are expected to question Charlotte leaders about their efforts to keep the Queen City safe. State lawmakers invited them to testify after the stabbing death of Irina Zarutska on a city commuter train back in August. Charlotte Mayor Vi Lyles and Mecklenburg County Sheriff Gary McFadden are among the leaders scheduled to speak. The legislative hearing will start around 9 o'clock this morning. WRAL state government reporter Paul Space says lawmakers have been already working on safety measures ahead of today's hearing.
State lawmakers for months now have been trying to figure out how they can prevent stabbings like the one in Charlotte in August from happening again. Now, this committee has taken a hard line looking at officials across the state, interviewing them about their policies. I expect to see more of that this Monday.
Well, Paul and the rest of the NC Capitol team covering this hearing. Check WRAL.com for updates later today. Also happening today, Wake County Public Schools hosting a community engagement session about proposed changes to Ligon Magnet Middle School. The session is happening this evening starting at 6 until 8 p.m. at the school on East Lenore Street in Raleigh. Staff will give an update on the status of the project and the next steps. Ligon was built back in 1953. It replaced Washington High as Raleigh's only all-black high school during a time of segregated schools. Ligon was desegregated in 1971 and later converted into a junior high school.
The Seattle Seahawks are Super Bowl champions after a dominating defensive performance in Super Bowl 60. The Seahawks defense smothered New England Patriots quarterback Drake May all game long. They sacked May 6 times, one shy of a Super Bowl record. Seahawks running back Kenneth Walker III was named the game's MVP. He ran for 135 yards, the most any player has had in a Super Bowl in nearly 30 years. The Seahawks ended up winning the game 29-13. It's the second time the Seahawks have won the Super Bowl. So fans in Seattle, check this out. They partied into the night as they celebrated their team's Super Bowl win. Celebrations included chants, fireworks, and even cars spinning donuts in the intersections there. The team will formally celebrate their win with a parade on Wednesday.
And Laura, Puerto Rican rapper Bad Bunny taking the stage for the Super Bowl halftime show. His performance included cameos from Lady Gaga and Ricky Martin. It also featured an actual wedding and Bad Bunny giving one of his Grammys to a child watching him on television. There were also surprise celebrity appearances from Pedro Pascal, Cardi B, Jessica Alba, Carol B, and a whole lot more. Bad Bunny made history as the first musician to deliver a Super Bowl halftime show entirely in Spanish.
About the Winter Olympics now, here's what we're watching for today at the Olympic Games. The USA women's hockey team will be back on the ice playing Switzerland. Curling and luge competitions move forward and ice dancing gets started. So we'll see medals awarded in 5 events: freestyle skiing, alpine skiing, speed skating, that is, snowboarding, and ski jumping. Yesterday at the Games, Team USA's figure skating team won gold. Ilya Malinin secured the win with his performance in the men's free skate, and American Breezy Johnson won gold in the women's downhill skiing event. Her win came after teammate Lindsey Vonn crashed. Vonn suffered a broken left leg in the crash. That's the same leg that she suffered a torn ACL when she crashed just over a week earlier.
Yeah, Laura, not too long ago, we saw the final scores that were listed there for the women's free ski slopestyle. Let me go ahead and kind of scroll up here so you can kind of see those results there. You've got Switzerland coming in at first, you've got China at second, and Canada in third. But looks like for the United States, we're down there as 11. So not quite the finish that we're looking for, but we're not out just yet. Looking at the medal count as of this morning, you can see Italy's still taking that #1 spot there with 1 gold, 2 silver, 6 bronze, 9 total. Not seeing the United States just yet, but there are plenty more Olympics action set to happen.
Okay, Chris, thank you. The ACC fined UNC $50,000 for the court storming incident that happened after Saturday night's Battle of the Blues matchup. The league says the team violated its event security policy. Duke University says a staff member got punched in the face during the storming. That person was treated and is now recovering. UNC Athletic Director Bubba Cunningham apologized to Duke after this game, and UNC says it reviewed video from the incident and found that it followed all of its policies. They consider the matter now closed. Your time now, 8:10. We have much more news ahead. Calls for ICE reform. Demonstrators gathering in Johnston County to protest against ICE. Why they say it may be too late for the Trump administration to use a softer touch on enforcement. Elizabeth?
And it's beautiful outside right now, a little on the cold side. Looking at a couple of chances for precipitation this coming week. None of it looks wintry, but I'll walk you through it coming up. 8:14. Take a look at this. We've got a deck of clouds that's moving in from the south and west, cruising over southern Pines right now. That deck of clouds is likely to hold together across our area, and it's going to move through probably within an hour to 2 hours across your area when it gets there. It's not likely to bring us any precipitation, but don't be surprised if it's just a little cloudy for a short period of time this morning. It's cold out there. 18 in Raleigh and Durham, 15 in Roanoke Rapids, 18 in Wilson, Goldsboro, and Rocky Mount. It's 23 in Fayetteville as you're heading out the door right now. Temperatures remain chilly. We hit 29 at 10 o'clock, and around lunchtime, we're in the upper 30s, and we'll climb into the mid 40s for high temperature around 3 o'clock, and then the evening commute also looks nice and dry with temperatures mainly in the 40s. Tomorrow, a high pressure system is going to bring much warmer temperatures. I'll show you that coming up. Ken?
Elizabeth, happening now. We're still keeping you updated on that northern loop of the Beltline as we look live at I-440 near the Newman Avenue exit. You can see the bumper-to-bumper traffic there in that northern loop of the Beltline. As we widen out the view, give you a look at the entire loop. The main congestion really is between the 87-440 split to Capitol Boulevard, and once you get past Capitol Boulevard, it's relatively clear sailing all the way over to Wade Avenue, so keep that in mind. Right now, you're looking at a 9-minute delay. I'll have another update coming up in less than 10 minutes.
Okay, Ken, thank you. A driver is facing charges after a crash near Garner killed a person. This happened early Saturday morning on I-40 East near Jones Sausage Road. Troopers say Alexis drove off the right side of the road and crashed into a box truck that was parked on the shoulder. A passenger in the car died. The driver was taken to Wake Med. The truck driver went to the hospital with minor injuries, and troopers say speed and alcohol were factors in this crash. A child is safe now after falling into a pond. This happened yesterday at Laurel Hills Community Center in Raleigh. Fire officials say the father rescued the child from the pond, and both of them were able to get out of the water safely. This comes days after a Cary family's dog died after falling into an icy pond as well, and then a week after a man and boy were rescued from another Cary pond covered in ice.
Part of an exclusive interview between Tom Llamas of NBC News and President Trump aired during the Super Bowl. Llamas asked the president what he thought about former Patriots coach and UNC football coach Bill Belichick being snubbed by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
I thought it was terrible. I mean, he's won so much, won so many Super Bowls, great coach. Became a little bit controversial, I guess, after that. His little period after that. During it, he was just a great coach. But what difference does that make? No, he should be in there right at the top.
Published accounts indicate Belichick was puzzled and disappointed by the outcome, although he has yet to make an announcement or comment. The Pro Football Hall of Fame is now expected to change its voting procedure, including reducing the voting committee size, changing the makeup to include more non-media members, and making the votes public.
Looking ahead now, an Ohio man will face a judge this week after he was charged with threatening to kill Vice President J.D. Vance. A federal grand jury indicted Shannon Mathry on Friday. According to the indictment, Mathry said last month he was going to find Vance and use a M14 automatic gun to kill him. He made this comment a day before the vice president was in Toledo to speak at an event discussing the administration's economic agenda. Now he faces a maximum 5 years in prison and $250,000 fine. He remains in jail and has a detention hearing on Wednesday. Happening today, jury selection begins for the father of a Georgia school shooting suspect. Colin Gray faces murder and manslaughter charges. He pleaded not guilty to nearly 30 counts tied to the 2024 shooting at Appalachia High School. Investigators say Gray's son, Colt, who was 14 at the time, shot and killed 2 students and 2 teachers. Prosecutors say Gray allowed his son access to a firearm despite earlier warnings about potential violence.
Protesters marking the 1-month anniversary of Renee Good's death were arrested at a Minneapolis federal building. The Hennepin County Sheriff's Office says deputies arrested more than 50 protesters over the weekend after some became violent. They say while there were many peaceful protesters, some were throwing ice chunks. A deputy was hit in the head and a squad windshield was broken. Protesters were then ordered to disperse.
And here back home, demonstrators gathered in Clayton for an anti-ICE rally this weekend. This is one of many that we've seen locally and across the country recently. The demonstrators took turns climbing a ladder to explain why they showed up. And just days ago, President Trump said his administration could use a, quote, softer touch on enforcement. Demonstrators we spoke with say that the damage is already beyond repair.
Better. We can do better. We must do better.
I don't expect miracles. I expect little steps forward, and that's what we're getting. So as long as we take a step forward, that's the best we can do.
So we have reached out to immigration enforcement for a comment about these demonstrations. We're still waiting to hear back.
5 on the side, telling you about a recall that you should know about. B&W recalling nearly 90,000 vehicles due to fire risk. They say the engine starters may overheat and catch fire. The recall includes 9 different models ranging from 2021 to 2024. This follows the October recall by BMW of 145,000 vehicles, also over a starter defect. BMW says dealerships will replace the engine starter at no cost. The venerable Buddhist monks are just days away from completing their walk for peace. Their 2,300-mile journey will come to an end this week in Washington, D.C. They'll walk from Alexandria, Virginia to Marymount University in Arlington today. They'll begin their final walk to the National Mall on Wednesday. They'll give their last remarks at a peace gathering at the Lincoln Memorial. After 110 days of walking across America, they will return to Texas, where they're based.
Well, boy, when they were here in the Triangle, they were dealing with some pretty cold temperatures, and it seems like those cold temperatures have really stuck around for us.
They really have. You know, it's good for, winter fun, that's for sure.
Yeah.
This is a look at Fitton and Cary, where they have the ice rink, and yesterday was the last day for ice skating, which, is kind of ironic because, it's still really cold.
Yes.
However, we do warm up a little bit for tomorrow, and, so it's
good news.
Spring is right around the corner when they take the ice rink away. You can see that there's a lot of sunshine here in Cary. Our temperature is 18 and the wind is nice and light, so we haven't had any wind chill to deal with. If you were watching a couple of days ago, you might have heard us talk about, a hint of a little wintry weather for this coming weekend. Well, the models over the last 24 hours have consistently just shown rain. So right now, we're just looking at rain potentially over the weekend. We could start with a little bit of light rain on Wednesday. That's going to be our next weather maker. This is a front that will slide eastward and stall just off the coast and help to produce some showers during the day on Wednesday. A lot of that will end up being closer to the coast because that's where the front is likely to stall. But there's 6 a.m. on Wednesday morning. Notice gradually as we get through the morning that rain starts to develop, especially from the Triangle area southward and closer to the coast, and then gradually it begins to pull away. So that's not going to be a big rainmaker for us, giving it about a 30% chance there on Wednesday. Now, this looks like a much more potent system, but it's not a guarantee that we'll end up seeing a lot of rain from this either, but the hope is that we will. This version of a futurecast shows it running a little bit slower, so potentially Saturday night into Sunday. But we'll be watching that timeline. We'll probably adjust it a few times between now and the weekend. But just keep in mind that we may be tracking some showers for some part of Valentine's Day and into Sunday. High temperatures will be right around 50, which definitely is warmer than we saw this past weekend and just a little below normal. We definitely need a good soaker. We're looking at severe drought all across our entire viewing area. We check out the 7-day forecast. Tomorrow morning, not nearly as cold, but we're still likely to start at around freezing. And then we'll see plenty of sunshine during the day. I'll show you what changes to bring such a warm day. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We're keeping an eye on that congestion. We've been monitoring it at the northern loop of the Beltline, I-440 near the New Bern Avenue. This is a live look at that. As we widen out the view, really the heavy congestion is right near the I-87, 440 split, Capitol Boulevard. But once you get past Capitol Boulevard, it's relatively clear sailing all the way over to Wade Avenue. So right now you're looking at a 7-minute delay. Similarly, depending on where you're headed this morning, you might want to take the southern loop of the Beltline because right now we're only looking at a 3-minute delay. No delays whatsoever coming in from Garner-Johnston County between Highway 36 and the Beltline. As we widen out the view, give you a look at some of the congested areas that we're seeing. You're looking at a 7-minute delay if you're coming in from I-40 eastbound this morning and a 9-minute delay for Finns in Wake Forest. So you're getting ready to head into the car, though. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
All right, Dean Dome debate, the conversation over the future of the beloved but aging building.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning. The time is 8:26. I'm Laura Levine. Here's meteorologist Elizabeth Garner with a look at the chilly temperatures, Elizabeth.
It looks gorgeous out there right now. We're seeing sunshine everywhere, but if you're about to head out to walk the dog, grab the gloves on your way out. It is cold. Our temperatures have been in the teens. We're going to see gradually our temperatures climbing through the 20s. We get to freezing right around 11 a.m. and our high this afternoon in the mid-40s. So coming up on Fox 50, I'll show you why we could see temperatures 20 degrees warmer for tomorrow. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, we're staying on top of that situation, that northern loop of the Beltline, the usual morning congestion that we see as we take a live look at I-440 near the New Bern Avenue exit. You can see the bumper-to-bumper traffic there. As we widen out the loop, give you an entire look at what we're talking about. The heavy congestion is really between I-87, 440 interchange all the way over to Capitol Boulevard. But once you get past Capitol Boulevard, it's really clear sailing all the way over to Wade Avenue. I'll keep an eye on this and have another update for you at the bottom of the hour over on Fox 50.
Ken, thank you. Police in Raleigh are looking for a man they accuse of stabbing his girlfriend late last night. The stabbing happened on Tedrow Terrace near Garner Road. The woman was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Starting today, DMV doors will no longer open early. 90 DMV offices will now open at 8 a.m. instead of 7 a.m. Officials say the exhaustion of federal funding is what's causing the change. Another change here, the DMV is now offering appointments on a weekly basis instead of waiting months out to make those appointments. Walk-ins are still allowed. And coming up next on Fox 50, how 5 on your side's Keely Arthur fixed an ATM deposit turned into a $10,000 nightmare. And up next on Today, Shaun White is live from Milan with all things Winter Olympics. We'll be right back.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
Temperatures are still in the teens as you step out the door, but we're going to see a big change in our weather pattern that brings warmer weather for tomorrow. I'll show you the change.
And early hours over. If you've been relying on those early DMV openings, we'll explain what's changing today and what it means for wait times.
And public safety. Charlotte officials face tough questions today about their efforts to keep the Queen City safe, what state lawmakers want to change. Thanks so much for staying with us here at 8:30, the day after Super Bowl Sunday. Always tough to get up.
Yes. Thanks for joining us. Ken Smith, Laura Levine here. And it was so tough to get up this morning. And meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is also explaining another reason why it was tough. The cold temperatures, Elizabeth.
Ooh, temperatures have been in the teens almost everywhere this morning, but the sunshine looks gorgeous. This is a live look at downtown Durham. I mean, it's pretty dry out there, so we haven't had a whole lot of frost, even though it's been cold enough. 18 degrees right now. We also haven't had too much of a wind chill, but still, I mean, it is just cold out there. Goldsboro is at 21. It does feel like 19 in Fayetteville and 17 in Southern Pines, so a little bit of a wind chill there. It's 14 in South Hill, 16 in Roxborough. Temperatures are actually warming up. South Hill dropped to 9 degrees a little bit earlier this morning. We'll climb above freezing by 11 a.m. and we'll see a high of 45 later on. But a high pressure system is going to help deliver a big warm air mass to us, at least for a little while. We'll take a look coming up. Ken?
Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We're staying on top of the congestion that we're seeing on the northern loop of the Beltline as we take a live look at I-440 and New Bern Avenue. Believe it or not, it's beginning to ease up just a little bit as we give you a look at the entire loop, because really the heaviest congestion is between the 87 440 interchange all the way to Capitol Boulevard. But once you get past Capitol Boulevard, it's clear sailing all the way to Wade Avenue. So right now you're looking at a 5-minute delay. So that southern loop of the Beltline, you know, those exit Gorman, Lake Wheeler, you're looking at a 4-minute delay. No delays whatsoever. You're coming in from Garner-Johnson County between Highway 36 and the Beltline. And if you're navigating I-40 westbound through Wade Avenue, just a 1-minute delay. So really nothing that's going to make you late. As we widen out the view, give you a look at some other routes coming into the Raleigh-Wade County area. I'm seeing a little bit of a slowdown between I-540, right there at I-40 eastbound, and the Cary-Harrison exit. Right now you're looking at a 7-minute delay, so keep that in mind. Similarly, our friends in Wake Forest are looking at a 7-minute delay coming in on US 1. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thank you. Police in Raleigh are looking for a man they say stabbed his girlfriend last night. The stabbing happened on Tedrow Terrace near Garner Road. Police say the woman was stabbed in her stomach. She was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. We are working to learn more about the victim and what led up to this stabbing. An effort now from the DMV to shorten wait times and get more people through the door is over. Extended early morning hours have come to an end. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live outside the Avon Ferry location in Raleigh. And Kelsey, we know those doors opened about 30 minutes ago.
Yes, Laura. So now everyone that was standing outside is now inside here at the Avon Ferry location. For the DMV, but this morning 90 DMVs across our state have changed their early morning hours, and officials say that the exhaustion of federal funding is what's causing this change. These offices will now open at 8 a.m. instead of 7 a.m. They were open earlier to offer additional customer service time and help address high demand. Here's another change you should know about. Now you can only make an appointment up to 7 days in advance. You are no longer allowed to book a time slot up to 90 days ahead of time. That's designed to help the DMV direct customers to offices that could have more capacity in a given week. We spoke with walk-in customers who arrived several hours early this morning after having trouble booking appointments online. What was your experience with trying to book an appointment? What was that like?
It's horrible, you won't get the dates, The moment you log in, everything is grayed out for the next couple of months,
And just to be clear here, walk-ins are still allowed. We checked the DMV website earlier this morning. There are no appointments available across our viewing area. But some good news for you, new appointments will be available every weekday starting at midnight. So you want to get on there early to make sure that you can find an appointment. So it'll be every day or every weekday at midnight except for holidays. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
The DMV is opening the second of 4 new driver's license offices today. It'll be in Leland and Brunswick County, and 2 additional offices are also scheduled to open later this year. One in Fuquay-Varina and a location to be determined in Cabarrus County.
The search for 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie in Arizona is entering its second week. Today's show co-host Savannah Guthrie and her siblings made a new public plea over the weekend. They say they will pay to get their mother back. Here's what we know right now. In a ransom note, there's a demand for $6 million in Bitcoin by 5 p.m. today. Investigators believe Nancy Guthrie was taken against her will from her home more than a week ago. Authorities were also seen at the home of Savannah's sister, Annie, over the weekend. It's unclear why they were there.
The sentencing hearing for the 2022 Hedingham shooter will resume tomorrow. Austin Thompson killed 5 people and hurt 2 others when he was just 15. A judge will decide if Thompson will be eligible for parole. Thompson's brother was one of the victims as well, and in a confession note, Thompson said he killed his brother because he was going to get in the way. On Friday, prosecutors focused on Thompson's internet searches. They say his searches were similar to those of other mass shooters. So WRAL will be in court tomorrow, streaming every moment of the hearing on our YouTube page.
Today, public safety will be on the minds of state lawmakers. After high-profile crimes in the state, they are working to find solutions. WRAL's Ali Katlabar is live outside the legislative building in Raleigh this morning. And hearing comes today after some national attention and some high-profile cases here in our state.
Yeah, Ken, and just a few minutes ago, I saw what appeared to be the Charlotte mayor and some other city and county officials walk in those doors here at the state legislative building. They're going to be on the hot seat this morning as lawmakers are expected to ask them questions about public safety. Now, this comes nearly 6 months after the death of Irina Zarutska. Now, prosecutors accused Carlos Brown of stabbing and killing her on a city commuter train back in August. Invitations sent to Charlotte Mecklenburg County officials reference the stabbing. Lawmakers asked them in that invitation to provide communications and documents. Charlotte Mayor and Mecklenburg County Sheriff are among the officials set to speak at this hearing.
8:45, Rocky Mount Mills looking beautiful with all this sunshine. We started off very cold this morning, but we're about to see a big change in our weather pattern. Winds will start to come out of the southwest tonight and tomorrow, and it's really going to warm things up. We'll notice a difference tomorrow morning. Gosh, temperatures right now are in the teens. 18 in Raleigh, Durham, and Rocky Mount, 15 in Roanoke Rapids, 18 in Wilson, and 24 in Goldsboro. But with all that sunshine, we'll see at least a bit of a warm up for it today compared to yesterday. Yesterday's high was 33, and we'll hit that at around 11 o'clock this morning. Our highs this afternoon in the mid-40s, so doing your workout in the gym may feel a little more comfortable today, but I would plan to be outside tomorrow. I'll show you how temperatures will warm up into the 60s. Ken?
Excellent. Happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We're staying on top of the congestion we've been seeing right now, that northern loop of the Beltline. As we take a live look at I-440 near the New Bern Avenue exit, you can see the bumper-to-bumper traffic. Even the traffic is moving, albeit at a rather slow, steady clip. Really, the congested areas between the 87-440 interchange to Capitol Boulevard, you're looking, once you get past Capitol Boulevard, it's clear sailing, relatively speaking, all the way over to Wade Avenue. But right now, you're just looking at a 6-minute delay. I'll have another update in about 10 minutes.
Okay, Ken, thank you. Well, we do have a heads up for Durham drivers this morning. Part of Liberty Street will be closed this week for fiber optic repairs. The closure runs today through the 12th, and from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., detours will be posted and access to homes and businesses will remain open. Happening today, the Durham Board of County Commissioners will meet to vote on budget amendments. One of the amendments they will discuss is funding for the Department of Social Services PEAS project. The program helps provide nutritional support to eligible older adults. Today's meeting is at 6 p.m.
President Trump is moving to quadruple the amount of beef imported from Argentina under a trade deal reached last year. Trump signed an executive order Friday to temporarily expand beef imports. He says that will help lower the cost of ground beef to consumers. But the National Cattlemen's Beef Association does not believe the move will lower beef prices. And it says increased imports without more inspection protocols could put Americans at risk of foreign diseases.
Pope Leo XIV is not planning on visiting the U.S. this year, despite speculation that he could. An Italian media report suggested Leo could return to his home country to visit the UN to mark the 250th anniversary of the U.S. However, the Holy See press office said yesterday that Leo will not go to the United States in 2026. The White House says Leo has an open invitation to visit the country.
A routine ATM deposit turned into a month-long fight for one consumer, and it took 5 on your side to finally get her money released. 5 on your side's Keely Arthur shares how she made that happen.
Most of us use the ATM without giving it a second thought. But one woman says her money disappeared and she didn't get an answer for months. After a death in the family, Marilyn Lovelace received a $10,000 inheritance check from her aunt, money she deposited at a Wells Fargo ATM.
I deposited this $10,000 check and I got no receipt back, which I thought was weird. I thought, well, I'll just go in tomorrow.
But when Lovelace returned to the bank the next day, she says she was told the deposit was on hold and under investigation.
I spoke with a Wells Fargo representative and I said to her, I'm going to go to the media if we don't sort this out. And she says, is there anything else I can help you with today? And I think that was the moment I thought, okay, nope, I'm going to go talk to Keely.
Coming up tonight on WRAL News at 6, I'm going to tell you what Wells Fargo said when we got involved and the mistakes you need to avoid when using an ATM. Keely Arthur, 5 on your side.
Well, the U.S. birth rate is going down after a slight increase in 2025. This comes from the newly released Centers for Disease Control data that shows just over 3.6 million births last year. That's about 24,000 fewer than 2024. Experts say the decline could be from economic uncertainty, including concerns over health insurance.
Well, if you want to keep your heart healthy for years to come, doctors say there are small steps that you can take right now. Cleveland Clinic believe that there are 3 things you can do to protect your cardiac health. Regular exercise strengthens your heart and helps control blood pressure and cholesterol. You should maintain a heart-healthy diet and try to avoid smoking and alcohol. Doctors say it's also important to know your family's heart history.
As we know, Carolina's Smith Center was rocking Saturday night, but the future of the 40-year-old venue is at the center of a debate that's splitting some fans and the administration. Some want to keep the Smith Center at the current location on campus and renovate the building, keeping the history and tradition of the site alive. While some are eyeing the proposed Carolina North campus for a completely new build that could bring in more money and more modern amenities. Tar Heels are choosing sides, of course. The decision was expected by the end of 2025, but that timeline has been delayed by strong opposition to a move. Chancellor Lee Roberts says there's no perfect solution to the arena dilemma. For more information about the Smith Center debate, see our latest reporting on our website, WRAL.com. Time now for a look at what's trending. Lance Armstrong's life story is getting the big screen treatment.
And Austin Butler will star as the former professional cyclist in an unnamed biopic. Armstrong won the Tour de France 7 times after surviving cancer. In 2012, Armstrong was stripped of those titles after he admitted taking performance-enhancing drugs. He was also asked to return all of the prize money he earned between 1999 and 2005.
They have a lot of drama to build on that biopic.
Yes, certainly. Well, let's get right over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. And Elizabeth, we are beginning to see a whole lot of sunshine out there.
We are looking at downtown Durham right now. It looks absolutely gorgeous, but temperatures have been very cold this morning. As a matter of fact, up near the Virginia line, temperatures dipped into the single digits. Right now in the Triangle, including Durham, it is 18, so it's cold, but that sunshine will help to warm things up. And eventually, a switch in our wind direction to southwesterly will bring us some warmer air for tomorrow. This afternoon, our high temperature will be in the mid-40s, and checking the Triangle area, it's still pretty chilly, some low to mid-20s for Apex, Solly Springs, and Fuquay Varina, but we're still in the teens in Cary, Chapel Hill, Wake Forest, Rollsville, Knightdale, and Garner. So mornings in the teens. How many do we normally see in a winter? What's the average? So far this winter, we've seen 10, but the average of the last 5 years is only 3. Of the last 25 years, it's 6, but you have to go all the way back to 75 years for it to be an average of 10 winter days in the teens. So you can see, of course, we've been warming things up, and so it's not as frequent that we see our temperatures in the teens in the morning anymore. This high pressure system is going to help to warm things up. No teens for tomorrow morning. High pressure systems rotate clockwise at this high. Will start to push some nice warmth into our area, and that will bring our temperatures into the 60s for tomorrow. Now today we're still below normal. You can see the blue shaded area. That's where temperatures are below normal, and then we're above normal in, of course, the warm colors, the yellows and the oranges. So we'll feel that for Tuesday and Wednesday. But by Thursday and Friday, our temperatures start to cool off just a bit. So we're looking at 64 tomorrow and 60 Wednesday, and then low 50s on Thursday and Friday. And our normal high is 54. As we get into March, that number really starts to move the needle quite a bit. Looking at our temperature outlook, we're likely to be above average once we get past Valentine's Day. And of course, above average could end up being, just upper 50s. But I know some of us will be hoping hoping for 60s. Valentine's Day preview. We're looking at highs near 50, but we have the potential for some showers. The timeline on that is still a little up in the air. So keep following along if you have plans for Valentine's Day. We'll keep updating that chance of rain.
And before we go to break, here are the winning lottery numbers. We'll get another check on weather and traffic up next.